Welcome to your passport to global perspectives. Today we dive into 7 countries where Americans might not be the favorite visitors. We'll unravel the reasons behind the sentiment, sparking curiosity about global attitudes. Get ready for a fast-paced tour around the globe. Starting in Asia, North Korea is notoriously wary of American influence. This tension dates back to the mid-20th century when the Korean War ended in a stalemate, leaving a deep chasm between the two Koreas. The United States, siding with South Korea, has remained a thorn in North Korea's side ever since. Today, North Korea is one of the most isolated countries in the world. It's a place where Americans are met with stringent travel restrictions, making it a less frequented destination. The U.S. government strongly advises against travel due to serious risks of arrest and long-term detention of U.S. citizens. Despite these warnings, a brave handful of Americans have ventured into this enigmatic land. Their experiences, however, are far from the typical tourist experience. They describe a heavily regulated journey, where every step is monitored and every conversation is a potential minefield. Visitors are escorted by government-appointed guides at all times, ensuring that they only see what the regime wants them to see. Yet beneath the surface, they also recount glimpses of a unique culture and people, often hidden behind the veil of political propaganda. So, if you're an intrepid traveler, undeterred by political tensions, and eager to explore the unexplored, North Korea may be the ultimate challenge. But be warned, this is not a trip for the casual tourist. It requires careful planning, a good deal of courage, and an understanding that you'll be stepping into a world far removed from the familiar. While travel to North Korea is possible, it's certainly not for the faint-hearted. Next stop, Iran, a country with a complex relationship with America. Iran and the United States have had a tumultuous political history, filled with conflict and misunderstanding. This has led to a strained relationship between the two nations, with sanctions and travel advisories often in place. However, this political turmoil has not deterred all American tourists from exploring Iran. In fact, the number of Americans visiting Iran has been on the rise in recent years. The allure of the country's rich history, the ancient ruins of Persepolis, the bustling bazaars of Tehran, and the poetic city of Shiraz are just a few of the attractions that have drawn American travelers to this fascinating land. American tourists who have braved the journey have found that the political narrative often overshadows the reality on the ground. They recount experiences of warm hospitality, of locals eager to share their stories and culture, and of an Iran that is far more nuanced and complex than what is often portrayed. Yet, it's important to note, the political conflicts do impact tourism. Travel can be difficult to arrange, and there are often restrictions on where tourists can go. But for those who make the journey, the rewards can be immense. Despite the political tension, many Americans have found Iran to be a country rich in history and culture. It's a testament to the enduring allure of exploration, of seeking understanding beyond headlines, and of the power of travel to bridge cultural divides. Moving to Europe, Russia's frosty relations with America extend beyond its cold winters. Situated in the eastern part of the continent, Russia is a country steeped in history and mystery. The echoes of the Cold War still resonate, a time when Russia and America were locked in a tense nuclear standoff. This historical animosity has left an indelible mark on the diplomatic ties between the two nations and has shaped the perception of Americans in Russia. In recent years, political issues have continued to strain the relationship. Accusations of election interference and cyber attacks have been hurled across the Atlantic, creating an atmosphere of mistrust and suspicion. Yet it's important to remember that governments are not always reflective of their people. Indeed, the experiences of American tourists in Russia can be quite different. While navigating the language barrier can be a challenge, many have found the Russian people to be welcoming and hospitable. The country's rich cultural heritage, from the grandeur of the Kremlin to the beauty of Lake Baikal, leaves travelers with unforgettable memories. Despite the political tensions, Russia remains a popular destination for adventurous American tourists. The intrigue of its past, the complexity of its present, and the promise of its future make it a compelling place to explore. The vast expanse of the country offers a multitude of experiences, from the bustling streets of Moscow to the serene landscapes of Siberia. Russia, a country as fascinating as it is vast, offers a unique experience for adventurous American travelers. We're now crossing the Atlantic to Venezuela, a South American country with a strained relationship with the U.S. Venezuela, known for its stunning landscapes, is currently facing a challenging period. The nation has been grappling with a deep political and economic crisis that has been ongoing for several years. This crisis has had far-reaching impacts, not least of which on the tourism industry. The once bustling streets of Caracas, filled with the vibrant energy of locals and tourists alike, have quieted significantly. The political instability has strained Venezuela's relationship with many countries, including the United States. This tension has, unfortunately, affected American visitors. Many have reported feeling unwelcome, while others have encountered difficulties due to the economic situation. Basic necessities, often taken for granted, can be in short supply. Moreover, the U.S. government's travel advisories often discourage its citizens from visiting the country. Despite these challenges, some American visitors have found their experiences in Venezuela to be enriching. They speak of the country's natural beauty, the warmth of its people, and the resilience they exhibit in the face of adversity. They've explored the towering peaks of the Andes, the vast plains of Los Llanos, and the stunning Caribbean coast. Yet these stories of exploration and discovery are often overshadowed by the ongoing political turmoil. The situation in Venezuela serves as a stark reminder of how politics can significantly impact a nation's image and its relationship with the rest of the world. Venezuela's stunning landscapes are overshadowed by its ongoing political turmoil. At just 90 miles off the American coast, Cuba has a history of tension with its northern neighbor. This tension dates back to the early 60s, when the United States imposed a comprehensive economic embargo on Cuba. This embargo, which is still in effect today, has shaped the relationship between the two countries for over 6 decades now. It has also made travel to Cuba a tricky proposition for Americans, who have had to navigate a labyrinth of restrictions and exceptions. In recent years, however, there have been some changes in the travel policies. For a brief period under the Obama administration, restrictions were eased, allowing more Americans to experience the vibrant culture and historical charm of Cuba. But the pendulum swung back under the Trump administration, with stricter rules once again limiting American travel to Cuba. Despite these restrictions, American tourists who have made it to Cuba tell tales of a warm and welcoming people, a rich history, and a unique culture. They speak of salsa dancing in the streets of Havana, of the taste of Cuban cigars, and of the vintage cars that seem to transport you back in time. But they also speak of the challenges, of the difficulties in accessing cash due to the embargo, and of the underlying political tension that can sometimes make the experience uncomfortable. Cuba, with its vibrant culture and historical charm, remains a complicated destination for American travelers. Back to Asia, Pakistan's relationship with America has been marked by periods of warmth and frostiness. This intricate relationship has roots in the Cold War era, when the two nations found a common enemy in the Soviet Union. However, diverging interests and conflicting perspectives on terrorism and nuclear proliferation have since strained this relationship. Moving to current times, travel advisories from the U.S. State Department often caution American tourists about potential security risks in Pakistan. These advisories highlight the occasional political instability and sporadic acts of violence in certain regions. However, they also emphasize that many areas in Pakistan are safe and welcoming to tourists. American travelers who have ventured into Pakistan often share tales of breathtaking landscapes, historic architectural marvels, and the warm hospitality of locals. From the bustling bazaars of Lahore to the serene mountain valleys of Hunza, Americans have found Pakistan to be a country brimming with cultural richness and diversity. They talk about the compelling history of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, the vibrant festivals, and the tantalizing cuisine that adds spice to their travel tales. Despite the political complexities, it's the people-to-people connections that often shine through, shaping unique and memorable experiences. Pakistan, a country with a rich cultural heritage, presents a challenging yet rewarding experience for intrepid American travelers. Finally, we're in Turkey, a country straddling Europe and Asia, with a complex relationship with America. Turkey's ties with the United States have seen their fair share of tension over the years. This tension, rooted in political disagreements, has at times spilled over into the realm of tourism and travel. In recent years, these political tensions have led to changes in visa policies. There was a moment when both countries suspended visa services, causing a ripple in the travel plans of many. While relations have since improved, the echoes of this event have left a lasting impression. Despite these challenges, American tourists continue to visit Turkey, drawn by the country's rich history and vibrant culture. The experiences of these tourists are as diverse as Turkey itself. Some speak of the warm hospitality and the tantalizing cuisine. Others recount tales of traversing ancient ruins and bustling bazaars. Yet some have faced instances of anti-American sentiment. These experiences, however, are not the norm, but rather isolated incidents. Turkey's relationship with America is layered and complex, much like the country itself. It's a tapestry woven with threads of history, politics, and culture. It's a place where East meets West, where tradition meets modernity. Turkey, a country steeped in history, offers a mesmerizing blend of cultures for those willing to venture. And there you have it, 7 countries where Americans might not be the most loved visitors. From North Korea's isolation to Turkey's complex geopolitics, each place harbors unique challenges. Remember, every country has its own story and every traveler their own experience. Until next time.